So today we will learn about the time intelligence function. Yeah. So in the time intelligence function, the first one is date, right? So if you have, let's say the year column, and then you have a month column separately, yeah. And if you want to generate a date field out of it, then you can use the date DAX function. How to use it is you can, let's say I need to create it in the financial state. Yeah. So what I can do is new column. Yeah, this time I'm creating a column. Why? Because I need row by row results for the date. Yeah. So
सर
I
फॉन्ट
need
साइज
like
थोड़ा इंक्रीज करेंगे.
font size. Uh, font size ना इसका बढ़ाना. Visible now?
यस सर.
So I was creating a calculated column. So now I need to create a date column. Okay. So date new. Okay. So to create a date column, I can use the DAX function date. Okay. Now in the date, it prompts me to add the year, month, and the day. Yeah. So if I need to add manually, I can do like this. Date, month is, let's say, January, day is 2nd. Yeah. So 2nd January 2022. This is the date that I have stored. Let's see that here in the physical form. So if you see in the table, it creates a new date with the manual value that you have added. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to add like this, you can say you can add it in this proper in this manner. Yeah. Now let's say instead of year and month, the manual year and month, I take it from a particular column. Yeah. So how I can do is I will say year of my date field. Okay. So date field from my financial statement. So what will happen? I will get the dates from uh, this field. Yeah. That means I will get the year from this field. Yeah. And the rest of the things would be static because one that I have entered is for the month and the two that I have entered is for the date. Yeah. So like this, I can create a date column, a manual date column by using either a static value or values from another field. Yeah. So as I used year, yeah, similarly, I can do month as well. Yeah. Let's say for month, I need the month from this current date column. Yeah. What I can do, I can say month and then here I will say current date. So what is happening here is you have a static date. Yeah. Date means you have the static day, right? And then after that you have you have the month populated from the current date column, and then you have the year populated from your date column. Okay. So like this, you can go ahead and use the date DAX function with year, month, and you also have day, wherein you can extract the day. Yeah. So here you can see day, quarter, month, year. Yeah. All of this is part of that. You can create it in that particular way. Yeah. Okay. Clear till here?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, just now we have used the month function, that function, but
Mhm.
In that Excel function, we didn't get the exact value. Have you checked that?
Yes, sir.
And just we have given the current dates of month, but in
Correct.
that
Month of the
in
current date. Yeah.
month of the current date, but
Mhm.
in the Excel, I think that is not in that
In Excel.
Excel format.
No, didn't get you. Get you. What is the question?
ये जो हमने सर मंथ का डैक फंक्शन यूज किया है ना, उससे वो
हाँ हाँ,
करंट डेट में जो भी मंथ होगा वो रिट्राइव
वही
करेगा।
उठाए। हाँ,
हाँ,
वही
बट
रिट्राइव करे।
आई थिंक वो उठा नहीं रहा है। आपने अगर वो चेक किया ना।
ये देखिए, जून ले रहा है वो, क्योंकि करंट डेट में जो है जून है मंथ। मैंने ईयर लिया
ओके ओके
डेट फील्ड
ओके।
से।
हाँ
हाँ,
हाँ हाँ।
मंथ
ओके
लिया
गॉट
करंट मंथ, करंट डेट से। ये दिखाने के लिए कि हम मल्टीपल फील्ड्स भी ले सकते हैं, और मल्टीपल फील्ड से आपको क्या चाहिए, ईयर चाहिए या मंथ चाहिए, वैसा भी आप कर सकते सेपरेटली।
ओके गॉट इट सर, थैंक
राइट। ओके।
So 1, 2 means क्या पहले वन
तो
कॉमा
ये जो है, हाँ, सी, दिस पोर्शन इज योर ईयर। सो ईदर यू एंटर अ स्टैटिक वैल्यू, दैट इज अ मैनुअल वैल्यू, और you enter a you populate the year from another date field. Correct. Similarly, this is for month, and after month the comma 2 is the day. Yeah,
ओके
first, second, third, ऐसा, right?
ओके
Yeah, so I have
मतलब
mentioned second.
ओके ओके फर्स्ट मीन्स मंथ सो फर्स्ट वैल्यू
First is year.
ओके ओके ओके
Okay, so this takes us to the next function, which is today and now. Yeah. So what is today and what is now? Yeah. Today will return you the current date. Now will return you the current month. Simple as it is. Yeah. So let's see how we can use that and where we can use it. Yeah. So in the back end, like when we were doing the Power Query editor, we learned how we can create the current date column, right? Date time dot local now, if you remember the formula, right? So that was the formula that we used. We created it there. Yeah. Similarly, you can also use DAX function in the front end to create the DAX function, to create a column, or even you can create a measure if you just want to populate it in a card visual. Yeah, and it's just the current date. You don't need it to distribute it row wise, row by row. Then you can create a measure. Yeah, let's create a measure for the current day. Yeah, how do you create it? So you'll create a measure. Let's call it as current day. Okay. So you just use the DAX function today. That's it. Yeah. Today, open bracket, close bracket. This is the formula. Yeah. So you use it and you get the current day. Yeah. So if I use this in a card visual, yeah, this is what I get. Correct. Now its data type is date and time, right? So I need to format that. Right. I'll say here DDMMYY. Okay, so this is how you can create it. Yeah, so here you will get the current day, right? Similarly, if you want the current time as well, how do you do that is now. Yeah, instead of day, you will say now. Instead of today, you will say it's now, right? Okay, so let's call it as current time. I'll say now. Hit enter, populate it here. There you go. Yeah. So now if you see, it is displaying me the current date as well as the current time. Yeah. So as soon as I refresh this table, okay, let's say I refreshed it. No, good. Good. Okay. Just give me 1 second, right? Okay, so as I was telling, we need to create this now function. We need to use this now function so that we get the date and time properly. Okay. Yeah. So today will give you the current date. Now will give you the current time. You also have one more function. Yeah. Instead of now, you have this UTC now. Yeah. So what is UTC now? UTC now is the global time, the GMT time. Yeah. So we know that in our Indian time zone, we are 5.5 hours ahead, right, from the global time. Yeah. So based on this, you add or subtract some hours based on the region you are in, right? So if you want the global time, so that let's say your client is in Australia, yeah, and you have used now function. So what will happen then? That is that when they open this report in that region, in that time zone, that is in Australia, they will be seeing the local time. Yeah, if you use now. Okay. If you don't use UTC, if you just use now, they will see the local time. When I say local time means if you see here right now, it's at 8:23. So it's showing me 8:23. Yeah. But if I need to keep the time common wherever in the world, if you open this report, you need to see the common time here, then you can go ahead and use UTC now. Same goes for UTC today as well. Yeah. So instead of today, you have UTC today. Okay. So this will give you the global time. Yeah. Okay. Clear to hear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we have the week calculations. Yeah. So if you need the week number, for example, for this current date, um, which we have here, where is that financials current date? Yeah. So see here, it still shows 29th June, even though today is 5th July, right? When this will change, if I refresh this table. There you go. Yeah. Now from this, what if I need to generate the week number? I need to calculate the week number or I need to calculate the weekday. Yeah. So what I can do is I had created a calculated column. Okay. So I'll just edit the same thing. Now I can say here week. First, we will see what is week number. Okay. So in week number, I will say the date. I'll populate the date field and then I need the return time. So what is one? One will control space. Okay. The control space. Week begins on Sunday. Okay. Second means it will start with Monday. The week starts with Monday and then it would return you the week number. There you go. So 5th July 2022 comes in the 28th week, in which the week starts from Monday. If I say the week starts from Sunday, yeah, why they have given two options? Because around the globe, either your week starts from Sunday or it starts from Monday. Yeah, it's a very rare case that they will tell you that my week starts from Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, very rare, 0.001%. Okay, so that's why they have given two options. Yeah, so remember this. If you don't remember, no issues. You have the intelligence here. Yeah. Okay. You can see week begins on Sunday, and the second one is week begins on Monday. Okay. So if I say week begins on Sunday, I can get the week number. This week number is for the complete year. If you want the week of the month, you should go to Power Query Editor. From the date transformation, you have week. You can from there generate week of month. Okay. This is week number. What is weekday? Let's see that as well. Weekday. Okay. So in weekday, again, I'll use the current date. Okay. Now in this, what it is, returns a number from 1 to 7, identify the day of the week, right? What do you mean by this is, let's first select this. So here it says it starts from Sunday to Saturday. If I say 2, it starts from Monday to Sunday. Yeah, Monday is 0, Sunday is 6. Here Monday is 1, Sunday is 7. Yeah, Sunday is 1, Saturday is 7. So let's take the first. Yeah, Sunday is 1, Saturday is 7. So with this, what you will come to know is that, let's say my week started from Sunday, correct? So this is my 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So today is the fourth day of the week. Yeah. So if you need to calculate this kind of results, which is fourth day of the week. So here it says 3. Why? It should give us 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 4. Oh, sorry, we started from Sunday. I'm calculating from Saturday. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Right. So today is the third day of the week, right? From Sunday, today is the third day of the week. So that is what it returns. Yeah. Now, why do you need this weekday or week number? Yeah, because in some of the reporting calculations, you may come across wherein you have to calculate for a specific day of the week. Yeah, irrespective of whether it's 5th July or 6th July or 7th July, something like that. Based on the week number or the weekday, you have to calculate something. Yeah, and if that is the case, then you can go ahead and use the weekday. Yeah, or week number. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to calculate the week number or weekday, you can do it like this. Yeah. Week number, remember it is the week of year. Yeah. Week number of the year. And weekday, it will return you which day it is from that week. Yeah. It will not return you the day name, but it will return you the number. Yeah. Based on that number, you can also calculate the name. Yeah. Any questions for week? Any questions?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Now the next function is a new one, like new one in the sense that it is not used in a calculated column, either it is not used for creating a calculated measure. We can use these two functions to create a calculated table. Yeah. Now, till now, we have seen that we can create a table inside Power BI using manual values. Yeah. That means the complete table we created by adding some values into it. Correct. Manually adding values into it. But by using DAX calculations as well, you can add a dynamic table. Yeah. Now let's say I have so many tables in here, right? And in so many tables, I have different date ranges. Yeah. So I need to connect all the table together using the date field. That's my requirement. Okay. So what I can do is from relationships, what we understand is we can create the relationship between 2 and 3, but we cannot create a triangle of the relationship. Yeah. So in that case, what we can do is we can create a common table called as date table. Yeah. And that date table will link to each of the tables that are there having the date values. With that, what will happen? Each can interact with the other tables. Yeah. So it will filter the other tables and you will be able to see the value. Yeah. So for these scenarios, you would need to create a continuous date table. Yeah. When I say continuous date table, what it is? Now, if you look at this date column, Do I have continuous values? Yeah. Let's say if I have this in day, I have day as well here. Oops. Okay. So I have day in here. Yeah. Now, do I have continuous dates? Like for the month of September 2013, I only have one day here. Yeah. I don't have the total 30 days. Right. In September, we have 30 days. So I don't have that here. Right. So continuous dates is not there. What if in another table, I have 2nd or 3rd September 2030? Yeah. So if you are creating a relationship, the relationship would be active, but as the values are not same, it will not relate it. Yeah. Getting my point? Yeah. Let me give you an example of a valid relationship, but it doesn't work. Yeah. This is important. Now let's say I have column A here in one table and I have column A in another table. Okay. I have values like this, A, B, C, D. That's E. Yeah. Now in column A, I have values like, okay, single value won't work. So let's say ABC, BCA. Okay. So now what is happening is I have the same column in another table, but I have values like this. Okay. So I have values like this. Yeah. Now I can tell Power BI that these two columns have same values related. So what Power BI will do, it will create an active relationship. But if you look at the values, is any of the values matching to each other? Are any of the values common? No, right? So when it is like this, then you say that the relationship is active, but as the values are not same, it won't work, right? So to get the common values, you should have a common table wherein you have all the dates. So that in table one, if you have few dates, it will relate. In table two, if you have few dates, it will relate, right? So you need a common date table. To create that common date table, what you can do is go to modeling, new table. Okay. So the enter data, which is there in home, this is for adding manual values. If you want to create a table using DAX function, go to modeling. Okay. Modeling, new table. I'll call it as date table. Okay. Is equal to the first one that we are going to cover is calendar auto. What is auto? Calendar auto means it will try to detect each and every date that is there in your all the tables combined. And from that, it will take the earliest date and it will take the latest date. And from that earliest and latest date, it extracts the year and then creates the range. Yeah. When I say year, what it is doing. Let's see this here. So I had September 2013's data, right? So what you can see here is, yeah. So what you can see here is it took the year of 2013 and then for that year it started from 1st January. Yeah. If you see where it ended, the current year. Why? Because we have a column which gives us the current date values. Yeah. So from that current date, it took the year and then it went on to 31st December 2022. Yeah. So when I say continuous dates, I mean this. Yeah. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, so on. Yeah. Okay. This is how you can create a date range automatically by using calendar order. Yeah. Now I can easily relate this to multiple tables that are there in my report. Yeah. Let's say table 1 has 1st Jan 2013, table 2 has 7th Jan 2013. Still it will relate. Yeah. So if I have a month filter from this, yeah, and I select January, so for both of the table values, both of them would be filtered at the same time, even though they don't have the same date results, right? Like this, you can do it. Okay. Yeah. Clear till here? Calendar auto. Now, after calendar auto, we have calendar. Yeah. So what is calendar? Calendar is you can manually add the start range and the end range. Yeah. So start date and the end date, you can manually add it. And between that, it would create the values. It would create the dates. Okay. Let's see that. So instead of calendar auto, I can say calendar, open the bracket. Yeah. So here, what it is asking, it's asking start date and the end date. So for start date, I will enter the date manually. Let's say I need to start from 2050, yeah? 1st January, right? Remember the date tax function that we just saw, and then the end date. Again, end date should be a manual value that I will enter here. Let's say 2030, or let's take it to 2025, December 31st. That's it. And my table would be created. So if you see here, it starts from 1st Jan 2015. It goes till 31st December 2025. Why it goes till 2025? Because this is the end date that I have entered. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Here is here. Yes, sir. So calendar and calendar auto is clear. Now, let's go ahead and see the next functions. Now, the next ones are very important ones. Yeah, so the calendar and calendar auto is done. Then is date diff. What is date diff? Date diff is nothing but the difference between two date columns. Okay. So again, date diff you will use mostly from your you will use it mostly from your you will create it in a calculated column. Okay. So how do you create it? Let's say in my financials table again, I have this date field, right? And then I have this current date field. So if I need to calculate the difference between these two, I can do it. How I will do it? Let's say I create a calculated column under financials table. Here I can say date difference. Let's say, let's call it as date difference. Okay. So here I can use the DAX function date diff. Yeah. So now it's asking me the first date. What is my first date? The financials date field, right? This one. And then the current date. Yeah. So these are the two dates between which I need to find out the difference. And what is the output that you need? Whether you need the difference in years, minutes, hours, seconds, quarter, week, year, day, any interval that you need, you can add it here. So I will say I need it in year. Yeah. How many years it has been. Now, if I go ahead here and I can see the difference. Yeah. So it's 8 and 9. Yeah. So from 2014 till today, it's 8 years. From 2013 till today, it's 9 years. Right. Like this. Okay. Yeah. All right. That is
Yes.
date diff. Yeah. Now the next ones are very much important. Yeah. So these are the actual time intelligence functions. Okay. So I'll try to cover as much possible, and then few of them which will remain, we will cover tomorrow. Okay. So now let's take a table and let's take a scenario wherein I have the dates. I need to change the format again. Yeah. So I have dates and I have sales. Yeah. Now, what I need to find is for each of the month, I need the previous month sales besides it. Yeah. So when I am seeing at February, yeah, I have the current month sales, right? Besides this, I need to also see what was the previous month sales. That is January month sales should appear for February. Yeah, when I select February, I need a value, I need a measure to be created, which would give me the previous month values. Yeah. So to create that, we can use data. Yeah. Now all this, as we need the number outputs, yeah, we will create a measure. Okay. So let's create it here. I'll say new measure. Let's call it as data. Okay. So how do you use it? Now, let's see the requirement. What is the requirement? I need the total of sales filtered for the previous month. Yeah. From our yesterday's session, to filter a particular measure, what is the DAX function that we were using
Filter.
for creating a filtered measure, right? A measure which can be filtered for something. What was the DAX calculation that we
Calculate.
were using? Calculate. Very good. So we will use calculate here. Yeah. Now, what do we need? What is the measure here? Sales, right? So I'll say total of sales. Okay. Now is my filter. So what is my filter? I need the total of sales for previous month. So for previous month, I have a filter called as data add. Yeah. Now for the data add function, if you see the IntelliSense, it is asking me the date column. What is my date column? Financials. Where is financials? Here is financials, date column. Yeah. Now it is asking me number of intervals. So this number of intervals is whether if you need previous, then you say minus. If you need next, then you say plus. Okay. So I need to go 1 month back. That means minus one, right? Comma, the interval. What I need is I need previous month. So I'll select month, close the bracket, hit enter. Your DAX is ready. Your formula is ready. Now, if you populate it here, you will see the results. There you go. Yeah. So for September, it is showing blank. Yeah. Can anyone tell me why it is blank here for September 2013?
Previous
Previous
month's
three.
data is not available. That's why.
Very good. Because August 2013, I don't have any data. That's why it is blank. But if I see for October 2013, I have the current month value and also I have the previous month value. From where did I get it? If you see September, it has the same value. Yeah. So now assume that I can now compare it easily, right? So for each month I can compare now. Yeah. This is the requirement that may come. If you want to compare current month versus previous month, how will you do that? Yeah. So this is how you can get the results, right? Not only previous month, you can also use previous quarter. But there is a difference here when you say quarter. Yeah. You see what has happened? It shifted 2 months later. Yeah. Now I'll tell you what it is doing. Yeah. For each of the quarter, let's say this, observe this quarter. Yeah. This is the fourth quarter, right? According to the calendar, this is the fourth quarter. Now in this fourth quarter, I have 3 months, first, second, third. So in each quarter, I have 3 months, right? First, second, and third. Now, for the first month of the current quarter, October 2030, do I have previous quarter's first month? So if I say what is the previous quarter for this quarter, that is third quarter. Yeah. So in third quarter 2013, I should have July, August, and September, right? So here July 2013 would be my first month, August 2013 would be my second month, and September 2013 is my third month, right? So here if you see, as I don't have July and August, it is blank. But I have September month's value, so it is displaying me besides December. Get my point? If you look at January, February, and March, yeah. So January's previous quarter value is 9295, which is October. 7267 is November. 5368 is December. Yeah. So understand this, that date add function. Yeah. So this date add filter function, it will return you the results for any interval that you need, like previous year, previous quarter, previous day, previous month, but it would get distributed by the date parts that are there. Okay. Even though it would give you the values, but it would be a distributed value. Yeah. So what if I don't want like this? What I need is, for the current quarter, I need to display the previous quarter total. Yeah, I don't need this distributed value, but for each row, I need the previous quarter total. When I say total, that means total of these three. Yeah. So how do I get it? I use another DAX function instead of data. Let's see that as well, and we will compare both of them. So I'll say date parallel. Okay. Again, I'll use the same thing. Only the filter function would change. Okay. So I need sum of sales as the measure. My filter would be parallel period. Okay. And the same thing. Financial state, -1 quarter. Okay. Let's use it here. And there goes the difference. Yeah. So now if you see here, for September, which is quarter 3, I don't have quarter 2's value. So it's blank. But for October, November, and December, it is displaying me the total of previous quarter. And in the previous quarter, I only have 1 month. That's why it is displaying. But if you come here for January, February, and March, this is my current month values. Yeah, so current quarter values. This is my previous quarter's total. So this total is actually the total of these three. That is here, October, November, December. Okay. Understood the difference between the two, data add and parallel period? Yeah. Data add will always get distributed. Parallel period doesn't get distributed. Simple distinction. Okay. Now we'll take the next two as well, and then we will compare the difference. Okay. So the next one is same period last year. Yeah. So from the name itself, same period last year, what we come to know, it would go to the same month or same quarter or same day, but -1 year. Yeah. So here you don't have the capability to enter the interval, number of interval, or the interval. That is, what is number of interval? -1, -2, -3, +1, +2, +3, something like that. And interval is nothing but day, year, month, quarter, or week, or something like that. Yeah. Again, what is the formula here? Sum of sales, right? Then I need to filter it for same period last year. Yeah. And then I just have to provide the date field. That's it. So financial state. Very simple formula. I will drag this in between this. Yeah. So now, as this is year, same period last year, let's change the both functions to give me year. Yeah. So first I will do it for parallel period. Let's do it for data. Okay. So if you see, right, For the previous year, date add and same period last year is giving you same kind of results. Yeah. So what you come to know, what is the difference? Same period last year, it's a static DAX function. Why do I say static? Because you cannot control the number of interval, or you cannot control the interval as well. It will only go to a fixed particular period, that is last year's periods for the same months that you are displaying now. Yeah. But in data, you can configure the number of interval, you can configure the interval. Yeah. And it also gives you the similar kind of results that same period last year has. Yeah. But if you compare that to parallel period, it is giving you previous year's total for the complete current year. Yeah. So from January to December 2014, it is displaying me previous year's total. In previous year total, I had 4 months, which consists of this total 264,15255. That is what it is displaying here. Yeah. Understood till here? All the three DAX functions and its differences. Yeah. The last one, which is there, is previous or next. Again, that is similar to the same period last year. It is static. Yeah. So I'll say that state previous. Okay. Again, the same thing, calculate sum of sales. Yeah. And I will use previous. So if you see, for each of the interval, you have different DAX functions. Yeah. So if I use previous year, and then you just need to provide the date field. That's it. You populate in this table and you'll get the same results. Yeah. The difference is, in a table format, it won't display you the total. Okay. Yeah. These are the 4 DAX calculations related to time intelligence. Okay. Any questions, anyone, till now for all the 4? No questions at all?
सर
Yeah.
सर डेट एसपीएल, डेट पैरेलल और डेट प्रीवियस, इसमें तो कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है मुझे. डेट ऐड तो समझ में आया, क्वार्टर भी समझ में आया.
डेट ऐड, हाँ, अभी देखो, अभी ये ईयर वाइज प्रीवियस दिखा रहा है, करेक्ट? सो ये जो वैल्यूज है, ये प्रीवियस ईयर के दिखा रहे हैं. इफ यू सी, सितंबर टू दिसंबर ही है हमारे पास प्रीवियस ईयर, तो करंट ईयर के सितंबर टू दिसंबर में वो वैल्यू दिखाएगा. सेम फॉर सेम पीरियड लास्ट ईयर. सेम पीरियड लास्ट ईयर का मतलब ही वो है कि वो जो भी मंथ आप डिस्प्ले कर रहे हो, सेम मंथ के लिए वो प्रीवियस ईयर से आएगा वैल्यूज दिखाने के लिए. ठीक है. नाउ इफ यू कम टू पैरेलल पीरियड और प्रीवियस क्या करता है, वो टोटल दिखाता है. इट डजंट गेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड लाइक दिस. अभी यहाँ पे जैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है और फिर हमको ग्रैंड टोटल मिलता है. सो यही ग्रैंड टोटल वो सब जगह दिखाएगा पैरेलल पीरियड. और मोस्ट यूजफुल ये है, बिकॉज अगर हमको फाइंड आउट करना है कि रेशियो कितना है, कि जनवरी 2015 का परसेंटेज फ्रॉम द ग्रैंड टोटल ऑफ प्रीवियस ईयर कितना है, ये जानना है, तो हमें टोटल लगेगा. क्योंकि मैं अगर सेल्स जो मेजर है उसको डेट ऐड से डिवाइड करूँ, तो यहाँ पे मेरे पास अप्रैल के लिए वैल्यू ही नहीं है. सो इट विल रिटर्न मी एरर, राइट? सो मोस्टली आपको डिस्प्ले करना है डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड, तो डेट ऐड या सेम पीरियड लास्ट ईयर यूज करो. आपको कैलकुलेट करना है, डिवाइड करना है, तो पैरेलल पीरियड या प्रीवियस यूज करो. सिंपल. You need to practice this measures, all these 4 measures, at least 3 times. Yeah, it's minimum 3 times. Okay, so that it is fresh in your mind. Even at the time of interviews, they may ask you a difference between, let's say, they may ask you the difference between date add and parallel period, or date add and same period last year. Yeah, so you should be able to answer it. How you will be able to answer it? Not by learning this, okay, not by just going through the recordings again and again and then answering it, but you have to do a hands-on at least minimum 3 times. Then only you will be in a stage to answer it. Okay. So practically using this formulas is very much important. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So today's task would be calculate using all the 4 different DAX functions which are here. Date add previous. Next is again same thing for previous. Okay. If you say I didn't show you next, let me show you here. Yeah. So instead of next, it is just instead of previous, you can use next month, next quarter, next year, next day. Okay. So it is the same. Yeah. So these set of time intelligence functions. Okay. Till here. Yeah. So today you will do a practice for this, not for sales. Yeah. So we created a table for sales, right? Instead of sales, use units sold. Okay. So for not the units sold, let's say, let's take this time a new measure, profits. Okay. So for profits, I need you to calculate previous quarter using each of these DAX functions. Yeah. Let's calculate next as well. Yeah. So what all you will do is calculate previous quarter profits and calculate next quarter profits. So total 8 measures. Okay. Not only using next year, next quarter. Yeah. So this is easy, but you can also use next in all the other functions. Yeah. Instead of minus, you will say 1. Correct. Here as well. Instead of minus, you will say 1. Only the same period last year as it goes to last year. Yeah, this is the -1 year, right? So here you cannot say same period next year. Yeah. So apart from this, let's say 7 measures. Yeah. So 7 measures you would create. First 4 will be using the DAX functions. First 4 would be for previous, and the last 3 would be for next. Okay, so total 7 measures you have to create today. Yeah, we'll stop here because I don't want to rush with the DAX functions because time intelligence is very much important. We will learn these DAX functions tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we have a session. Okay. We'll try to finish time intelligence and text and filter. This week would go like this. And next week till Friday. Yeah. So next week till Friday, we will be completing our sessions. Okay. So start practicing the topics that we have covered. Once we are done till here, I will be giving you the demo projects. Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
No, sir.